We are live and we are rebuilding in real time as we speak. I am Jean Colarosa, one of your hosts of the Strip Naked podcast. I am a career strategist, personal branding coach, and former FANG tech recruiter. And I will pass my invisible mic to my lady on my right for a quick intro.
Hi, I'm Marissa, premium UGC creator / strategist. In my former days, I was also a trainer in big tech.
Yes, well, so excited for our second episode of our podcast. This is a soft launch, and I feel like the conversation today, Marissa, is definitely fitting as far as rebuilding after a layoff. I know that there were so many of our friends in the tech industry that was laid off last week, and I just saw, I don't know if I could share my screen here. Let's see if I can share this. I just saw an article right now. Let's see here. These numbers are crazy to see. This is from the California Post. Because of all of the implementation of AI and across companies in several industries, we've seen tech layoffs in the thousands of numbers as far as 50K in just 3 months. How do you feel about that, Marissa, just seeing that number? I know it's been a year for you since your layoff last year.
Honestly, June, it's unbelievable. Like you know how you read them, like we've been reading and we've been having conversations, and it's like you hear like 1,000 here, 3,000 here, but to see 50K in 3 months is insane.
It's very scary. Yeah.
One question I do have, because I know like some of my past metamates were affected by it, but you also had metamates that were affected by it last week. Like with your conversations with them, how have they been navigating through this overall?
I think a few people have reached out to me, and I know that for some of them they felt like a weight has lifted, but then also similar to what I've experienced, and you could probably share yours too, is although I saw the writing on the wall for me for the last couple of months during my time at Meta, I felt like when it finally happened, I felt like a part of my identity was gone, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think we should talk about today is, what does that look like rebuilding after a layoff? Like, how did it feel for you when it happened to you?
I was blindsided, and I know that we spoke about it. Like you felt like something was lifted from you. Like to me, I was completely blindsided, and I did lose a bit of my identity, just like you said. And it was just taking that moment to grieve it. And once I grieved it, and I knew that, and meditating and like a mindset shift, that mindset, once that shift happens, and you can see and like learning back like to my skills, that's when I could plan what I wanted to do. But I would say it took me about 2 months to really like be able to navigate it, because I took it hard. I'm not going to lie. I took it really hard when it all happened. And you?
Yeah, I think for me, when it happened, I mentioned it felt like a weight has lifted. And then although I had another offer on the table, I feel like I didn't want to take that offer because I needed some time to heal and process.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that trip to the Philippines really helped me. And that's like and I wanted to kind of show up today because I wanted to share some tips for the community. Obviously, if you're in a position where you need to find work right away, then, you have to do what you have to do. But then I also have to remind people that, it's like you're grieving a death, right? Like, what are your,
It is, because unfortunately, I've had the unfortunate example, like I was laid off without a severance package, and I was also laid off with a severance package. So I've experienced both.
Right.
And so it's like, if you do have a severance package, you can plan out and take time to breathe and find a position that fits you. But if you don't have one and you are relying on that, it's like you have to make moves in order to stay sustainable and like be able to pay your bills. Like if we go into LinkedIn, I've seen people posting and looking for jobs for over a year and they still haven't.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart because I see them every week, day in and day out, and companies ghosting them and all that. We're talking about people's real lives here that are being affected. And it's like these people show up to work. They have bills to pay, they have families to take care of, and they still can't find a position because everybody's afraid to hire right now because of AI. That's what I'm seeing on there. And it's scary. It's really, really scary to see it all.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. And I'm kind of glad you're sharing the reality of what it looks like right now in the job market. On that note, like pivoting from like taking care of our mental health, kind of giving us the space to grieve. I would love to share a little bit more about how we decided to make that pivot into building something of our own. Like for me, briefly, yes, I had that offer on the table for another recruiting role, but I wasn't really excited about it. You know, I didn't want to be in a position where I felt burnout. I wanted to find a role or find a career business path that was going to tie into my strengths and passions, right? And I'm going to be real with you. I was applying to maybe over 40 to 50 roles, right? And I leveraged my network. All like a lot of the roles that I've had on my resume, I was referred for the position, right? This is different now. Like it's a very saturated market. So once I got tired of applying, I didn't see a dream role of mine that was there on LinkedIn or on all of these job boards. So I think by month, when I got back from the Philippines in January, that's when I decided, well, if I don't see a dream role out there that's going to be made for me, I'm going to make it for myself. And I feel like that's what we kind of bonded on, is through our experience through job loss at Meta. And then also because we decided to take our career in business on our own like terms, right?
Yeah, it is true. Like I'm very, like, I feel what you're saying, just because I was applying for jobs just to put things together, because I thought, and I mentioned it last week, I thought corporate was the way to go, but my heart just wasn't sold into it. I really wanted to tap into my creative side. And when I found UGC while doom scrolling on social media, I was like, it called for me. And I was like, I could do this. I could take my skill sets that I've learned and put it into here. I just needed a program to do it. And I found that. And it actually, like, it gave me that spark that I lost when I got that email saying your job is no longer needed, or has been what's the word, terminated on that, or eliminated. So it was like kind of reinventing myself and leaning in and trusting on the skill sets that I have, because if I could do it for a multi-million-dollar company like we've done, why can't we do it for ourselves?
I love that. I love that. And that's what I feel like we wanted to create this space for not only entrepreneurs, small business owners, but professionals that are in this stage of looking to pivot, feeling like, I don't think I want to climb the corporate ladder. Let me decide and build the ladder for myself, or let me create my own table, right? As far as like trying to get a seat at the table. And I feel like both of us, we talked about this last week too, is we're entering a skill-based economy where people are having opportunities to leverage their creative skills through like social media, leveraging their coaching skills through career coaching. That's what I'm doing. I'm kind of leveraging my recruiting skills to help job seekers, right? And I feel like both of us are building that career portfolio. So what are your top 3 tips for anyone out there that was the Marissa a year ago, right? How would you help that person?
So I'm going to tap into the creative side just to go a little bit different from what your tips are going to be,
Yeah.
or what I envision your tips might be. Is like, if you're thinking of starting something new, it's just start. Take the leap. No one starts being ready for it. You're going to mess up. Be okay with that and keep showing up. That's tip number one. Tip number two is build a community around you with that is going to enable you to move forward, because you need that support. So it's like, one, start; two, build that community; and then three, if you can, invest in a program that could give you the pathway to do there, because you can get everything online for free, but it's so much information. You're going to become overwhelmed. You're going to feel stuck, and you're not going to do anything. So those are like the three things that I would say. Is like, if you can, it's like, start, build a community, and purchase a program that aligns with what you want to do.
Yeah, I think you missed the first to tip two was like the skills, right?
The three?
First, yeah, you said this. The two was
community. No, so one was start. Just start.
Just start. Got it.
Just start. Yeah. Just start. Community, and then invest in a program. Like the program that we invested in that brought us together. It's like, it's a UGC platform, which we can tag at the end, and go from there. And it's like, it gave us a distinction of like how to move forward and get tapped into our creative side. So that's what I would truly believe. If you can, I would do that.
Yeah, I love
and then for
tips.
you, for like, because I know I went the creative side, I want to hear like, what would you recommend for like the entrepreneurs, professionals?
Yeah, I think it's very the similar sentiment, right? Is first is start. I would say this: start by doing an inventory check of what your favorite skills are in your experience. And I'll take myself for example. For me, like, I have over 10 plus years of experience. What I love about recruiting is the coaching aspect. I love prepping my candidates for their interviews. I love helping them create their career gems as far as their career stories, on helping them like shine through their interviews by showcasing their leadership skills, showcasing their problem solving skills. And sometimes it takes an extra pair of eyes or a coach to help unearth those strengths that you don't see for yourself, right? That's one skill I love to do. The next skill that I love to do is like social media. I love that because it kind of unlocks this creative side for me. And like, that's like my tip is take a look at your experience and jot down maybe the top 3 to 5 skills that you enjoy doing. The next step is start building community and start researching. Talk to different people that are in the industries or in the positions that you want to be in. For me, I didn't really talk to anyone, but I saw Sydney, the mentor of the UGC MA community platform. I saw her all over my feed, and I saw myself in her, and I was like, I want to be here. I want to have multiple sources of income. I don't want to just rely on one source of income. I want to pick the projects and the work that is tied to my strengths. And then the third piece you said, and I want to touch on that, is investing in yourself. Whether it's taking a little bit of your severance package, investing in a course, investing in a program, investing on LinkedIn Premium, where you have access to all of these great modules and learning modules where you can learn about like AI and all different career paths, or investing time on like building connection here on LinkedIn. I think that will also help you give a game plan of, you may not have a game plan, but once you start putting yourself out there by starting that inventory check, starting the community building, starting investing in your education and learning, that's going to help pave the way for you to find what's next for you in your career or business.
Yeah, it truly is, because like we've spoken about this in the past. It's like, once we started seeing like the possibilities and where we can go and what our skills can do and all of that. And like you said, like when you saw Sydney on your feed, I saw it too. And what got me with the program, and which I loved, was that she's so transparent with her story, but it's also she laid it out. It's like, it's not a get rich quick scheme. You have to put in the work. Anything of value requires work. Anything that comes easy is not, it's going to be temporary. And it's like, I like the grit. I love the frustration that I felt in those 90 days, because it made me stronger for when I had to like jump off on my own. I had the skill set, So it's like, I agree. It's like, build a community, and then invest in yourself, because you are the most powerful tool. If you can't invest in yourself, like, then you really have nothing, because you can't move forward. You have to show and sharpen those skills that you were talking about by investing in yourself first, to be able to get started, then to create that community.
Mic drop.
So that's, I think.
Mic drop. Hey, we don't have any special sound effects yet, but we're working on it. This is a soft podcast launch. Our official podcast launch is in June. But this is rebuilding in real time, showing up messy, right? On that now, I want to pivot into showing up through burnout. So I'll give a little bit of a backstory, because I just came back from spring break vacation with my family. We did like an 8-day road trip to the Pacific Northwest. And I was still working, also coaching on the side as well. And still have my private clients, and I'm also doing a little bit of social media marketing and, UGC. So I'm doing a little bit of everything. I have my hands on different things. And then, although the trip rejuvenated me, I came back on Monday and I felt burnt out. And I was like, Marissa, do we have to go live tomorrow? I don't want to go live on LinkedIn. I don't want to show up. Do you want to kind of share what you told me?
So I actually told you, I was like, no, this is how we show up, because our podcast is all about rebuilding in real time, and no highlight reels, nothing like that. So it's like, we show up regardless, because when we're rebuilding, it's like we're showing the messy middle. That is our tagline. That is what we're showing. Yeah. It's like, so you still have to show up and show that process, because somebody, what did I say to you? Somebody out there is going to see this and be like, you know what? Yes, if she showed up, I could show up too. Lead by example. I got a significant eye roll, people, if you are looking at it when I did tell her that. But guess what? But you showed up, and how do you feel right now? What did you tell me this morning?
I felt so good. I felt like, this is what I love about, and this is the next topic we can talk about. I'm glad I shared. I'm glad I'm able to be vulnerable with you and open. Mm-hmm. And because today, it was a completely different June that showed up, because last night I felt burnt out. I felt like, what the hell am I doing? I even told, and this is another topic that we could talk about next week. I even told Marissa, the company that I declined the offer on, they're hiring. I was thinking of considering doing a fractional contract with them. And then she said, what did you say to me?
I was like, are you doing it because it's safe
and easy? Yeah. And I said, yeah, I am. So then I was like, you know what, Marissa, I just need to get back on my workout routine. I need to do some self-care. And then yesterday, I'm also, on top of the many hats that I'm wearing, I'm also a certified hip hop step instructor. And yesterday, after my class, I taught there's 5 people in my class last night. I felt like that was the self-care I needed. And then this morning, I did Pilates. And then what did I tell you this morning? I'm like, Marissa, I'm so glad you told me to still show up today. I'm ready.
It's like the coach hat came on in our friendship, and I was like, wait. It's like, what are you doing? You need to show up regardless. And it's like, and we hold each other accountable, and it is like that vulnerability that we have. It's like, we show up completely unfiltered to each other, by the way. And we say some things that come off the wall. We're like, okay. We're like, okay, it's out. All right. So how do we move forward with that? And I guess it's leading into the next topic about having accountability partners on that it's like, if you have that person that you can just be raw with, like no filters, no nothing, but they still don't judge you. And it's like, okay, you feel that, feel it, but this is how we can move forward. That is how you can actually progress in this type of new environment that we're all going into, because we don't have the support of this multi-million-dollar company behind us. We're building on our own, and it's like you need to build back to that community to help you move forward. That's how. Oh my god, I've had a few of them today.
I love it. Mic drop. And I'm so grateful that even though can you all believe that we worked for the same company the whole time I was there at Meta? Amongst the 70,000 people that were there during my time, I've never met Marissa until after the layoff. Isn't that wild?
I have a question for you. Were you on site or were you remote?
I was remote.
Okay. Well, that explains.
Were you on site?
No, I was remote.
Oh yeah, I was remote. But it's wild to like think that we've never worked together at Meta, but we talked about how we're so grateful for Meta because it kind of brought us together, because we've bonded through similar experiences, right? I was going to say trauma, but
well, it is. We did bond, and I think what the conversation was, it's like I told you, like I felt like we were supposed to be in each other's lives, but what brought us together was Meta, and if it wasn't Meta, eventually something else would have brought us in. But this is like the unifying point was we both worked at Meta. We both invested in the same program from UGC Master Academy. And then that one call, because you mentioned Meta, it was like a line. I was like, wait, what's going on? Like, how can we talk? And I think it was all in alignment. Like, I do believe, and I know we're getting a little woo-woo here, but I do believe our paths were going to get crossed at one point or another. It's just our path finally crossed, like met at that intersection with all the decisions that we made. It came at that point that we were supposed to meet and unify ourselves. So.
Oh my gosh, my job. I'm so glad that you pushed me to decide to show up today. Follow us. We're going to close this out because I have a coaching call that I need to prep for at 1:00. But please follow us on our Instagram at Stripped Naked Podcast. This time it's spelled correctly.
Not Striped Naked Podcast.
Not Striped Naked. And we're working on our Spotify, but we're definitely going to put these podcast episodes on LinkedIn on to our Spotify. So once that's ready to go, we'll definitely have you subscribe. Any last words of wisdom before we head out?
Yes. Essentially, it's like, thank you all for showing up and for going through this. I know it comes a little bit unorganized, but it's about that. It's showing up in the messy middle. I promise we'll have a little bit more structure, but still show the messy middle in the back end. But we want to show up and show everybody the way it is. So we do appreciate everybody who tunes in or comments or likes or anything like that, because that's what it's all about, is about showing up and doing it, even if you're not prepared.
I love that. Amazing. Thanks, Marissa. And thanks to everyone following us we're live on Instagram too. And we have a little bit of an audience. We have Rana, Lo,
Trauma Bond Sister.
Thank you, lady. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Winston. Marissa, stay on, and I'm going to exit off Instagram. But we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.